Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, February 18th. A major winter storm is coming to the Mid-Atlantic region for Wednesday. It looks like it will produce significant snowfall on the front end of the storm. Eventually, it does change over to sleet, freezing rain, and ultimately to plain rain. But again, it looks like there will be significant snow on the front end, especially in places like D.C. to Philadelphia, New York City, a little bit less in terms of snowfall amounts. Right now, and this is 48 hours ahead of the main event, I'm thinking in the range of 4 to 7 inches in the D.C. metro region beginning between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. on Wednesday. In Philadelphia, 3 to 6 inches beginning between 9 a.m. and noon on Wednesday. And in New York City, 2 to 4 inches beginning between noon and 3 p.m. on Wednesday. Again, that's preliminary timing, preliminary snow estimates, but again, a significant snow event on the way, especially for the D.C. to Philadelphia corridor, beginning early in the day on Wednesday, up to the middle of the day on Wednesday. Let's take a look at some of the details here. First of all, the upper air pattern here for the next couple of days. This is as we start off the day on Monday morning. Using last night's NAM model, I like to use the high resolution model right here, as it tends to handle cold air damming events better than the synoptic scale models like the GFS, and indeed will have a strong high pressure system up to the north that will provide some cold air, at least in the lower levels of the atmosphere at the front end of this storm. Again, I think it's better handled by these higher resolution models. But this is the area that we're watching here, a very significant upper level wave of across the southwestern U.S. And we'll just move forward here, going through first through hourly increments, and watch this upper air feature here out across the western U.S. By the time we get into Tuesday morning, deep upper level low situated right out here over the southwestern part of the U.S., going into the northwestern part of Canada. Tuesday looks like a cold but dry day here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Let's now speed this up a little bit, and here we are now by Wednesday morning. That main area of upper level energy goes north and east towards the Great Lakes, quite similar to a pattern that we had about a week or so ago. Again, the primary low going up towards the Great Lakes, but a secondary low forms. This is certainly not a classic coastal storm by any means. We have the initial primary low going up towards the western Great Lakes associated with that deep upper level feature. And then we'll see in a moment here that, yes, indeed, a secondary low pressure area forms near the Mid-Atlantic coastline during the day on Wednesday. Here we go a little bit farther into the day. This is now Wednesday night, and finally by Thursday morning that energy goes up towards southeastern Canada. We actually become milder by Thursday afternoon after the ending of this midweek mess here. Temperatures could jump to 50 degrees in some spots by Thursday afternoon. Again, it does look like snow to sleet to freezing rain and ultimately to plain rain, but again, significant snow on the front end. Now let's take a look at the surface maps. Well, again, we're using the NAM model run. This is from 0Z last night. A kind of a messy night overnight in the Mid-Atlantic region. That all moves away. Cloud, damp, cold conditions this morning will give way to increasing wind this afternoon with the return of sunshine. Again, pretty mild afternoon here, but notice the northwesterly winds start to pick up in the afternoon. That ushers in another cold air mass. Here we go into the evening hours tonight. Notice a strong cold high setting up here over the northern plains. Again, a key player, much as it was about a week ago with that storm event that produced snow, ice in the Mid-Atlantic region. A cold high to the north here as we go in through the day on Tuesday. Basically sunny, cold, high temperatures no better than the 30s here, and that cold high stations itself over New England by later tomorrow night, Tuesday night. A key player here tends to lock in that cold air, cold dense air in the lower levels of the atmosphere, and then the precipitation starts to break out. A lot of moisture flowing to the north and east by very early in the day on Wednesday. It looks like snow again could break out as early as 6 a.m. in the D.C. metro region, and it could quickly become heavy at times. A mess for sure on Wednesday morning in the D.C. metro region. Again, strong cold high situated over New England. That snow starts to expand to the north and east, and it tends to slow down the advancement. Certainly by the time it gets to New York City, it may not be until noon or even early afternoon on Wednesday, and that's kind of a key player here. One of the reasons I believe D.C. is really in store for significant snow here as compared to New York City, for example, is precipitation arrives while it's still cold, whereas in New York City, be a little bit of time between the arrival of the precipitation and that cold air. The hours are numbered come midday afternoon, and as this high starts to indeed slide off the coast, will a southeasterly wind develop in the Mid-Atlantic region, and eventually snow does indeed change to sleet and freezing rain and then to plain rain. Let's keep moving forward here. Mid to late morning, snow could break out heavy at times in the Philadelphia metro region, and then finally reach New York City by midday, perhaps early afternoon, and then we transition over to sleet and freezing rain and ultimately plain rain in much of the Mid-Atlantic region. And by the time we get to early Thursday, notice a little bit of a secondary low reflected here on the NAM model. The initial primary low goes up towards the western Great Lakes, but the secondary does form along the Mid-Atlantic coastline. It could start off the day on Thursday with some plain rain and then quite mild Thursday afternoon. But again, a significant event coming to the Mid-Atlantic region for the midweek. On Wednesday, it looks like snow first breaks out in D.C., perhaps 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. in the D.C. metro region, then reaches Philly mid to late morning timetable, and then New York City noon to 1 or 2, 3 p.m. I'm thinking right now 4 to 7 inches in the D.C. metro region before the changeover, 3 to 6 inches in Philadelphia, 2 to 4 inches in New York City. That, of course, can change preliminary snow estimates, preliminary timing estimates, but for sure a midweek mess coming to the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. That's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.